figured as part of my long-term project investigating some of the more bizarre organizations engaged in leftist agitation, I would look at Tom Steyer's town hall, which happened tonight on climate change. And I'll tell you the truth, most of it was just a bunch of whining and panic-inducing hysteria. But finally, somebody came along, and it was well worth the wait. And I will play this clip now, and then we'll see exactly what he was talking about.
This gentleman, and we'll come right back.
Oh,
I got you.
I just want to talk about the children. I've helped recover about 5 kids back to family. But we know we have like a 13,000. We have a number on how many are in the immigration camps. And what we don't have a number on is there are 3 countries in the world, or 4, who permit or don't prosecute adults with children. Donald Trump has a Trump Tower in each of those countries, which is probably paid for by Russian oligarchs. And when you own it, you don't have to sign in. And I'm working with international people, helping them get their book out. They're the ones who are rescuing it. But we don't have a number. The American Association of University Women have the documentaries that show you the intensity. We don't have the number. I'm not going to accuse Trump of eating the donuts from his own bakery, because I don't have that evidence. But he certainly is putting his name on the Trump hotels. He don't have the money. They're putting those hotels in the countries that permit it. And the volume, all we need is a huge embarrassment. The people don't want to know that the oligarch is walking into this particular hotel, and people take vacations, 3-week vacations, to go to these countries. They don't take a vacation in Mexico. Trump says he's stopping.
Can I address this for what?
That's it.
Let me just talk for a second about this question about kids and immigration. Look, I think we all know from a value standpoint what the president's doing is the opposite of decency, the opposite of human rights, the opposite of anything we'd be proud of or stand for as a country. That's the first point. The second point is it's illegal. He is breaking the laws that the United States has agreed to in terms of asylum seekers and what we pledged to do under the law.
So of the buildings around the world that are known as Trump Tower, there are only 4 that are outside of the United States, which is what he's talking about. He's claiming that this is in countries that are not the United States, ones where the age of consent is below ours. So that would be the Philippines, Uruguay, which isn't even completed, Turkey, and India. And as it so happens, the age of consent in the Philippines is 12 years old, and the age of consent in Turkey is 18. And it's also 18 in India. So what's the problem with this whole theory? Well, as it turns out, Donald Trump does not own any of these buildings. And it says right here, this is for the one in the Philippines. Okay, Trump Tower, Philippines. It says at the bottom, there's in fine print, Trump Tower at Century is not owned, developed, or sold by the Trump Organization or any of their current or former principals or affiliates. Century City Development Corporation, the owner and property and developer of the property, uses the quote Trump name and mark under license, which license may be terminated or revoked according to its terms. So that's the one in the Philippines. The one in Turkey is also not owned by the Trump Organization. It's owned over here by Ortadogu Automotive, and it was developed by that same organization and the Trump Organization. So again, not owned by Trump, built and developed jointly by his organization. And then finally, the one in Pune, which is in India, which I believe I've heard is a pretty nice city. It has a disclaimer at the bottom. It says, the Trump Towers Pune is not owned, developed, or sold by the Trump Organization or any of their current or former principals or affiliates. Panshield Realty and Developers Private Limited, the owner and developer of the property in association with Prem Zagar Infra Realty Private Limited, uses the Trump name and mark under license, which license may be terminated or revoked according to its terms. So, would you imagine that at a Tom Steyer town hall, someone would spout off a crazy, ridiculous theory about Russian oligarchs, Donald Trump, and sex crimes involving minors, and Tom Steyer didn't even blink and basically just rolled with it? That's a guy who wants to be president, and he thinks he can preach to us about the climate. So that's about it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also subscribe to me on BitChute and on Minds.com, as well as on Subscribestar if you want to donate, and on Gab at Starscream85. You can find me everywhere else at Chef Leopard, and I'll talk to you later.